Hey guys, Mr. Beetlebum here, and today we are going to review that bad boy. So guys, today I am reviewing my favorite tank in the game. The tank that I play the most in the game, the tank that I love, the tank that I kick ass in, the tank that whenever I want to have fun, it's one of the few tanks that I always go back to and play. And what is this guy? You know it. It's the Russian Tier 8 Premium Tank Destroyer, the Su-130PM. This one's going to be real simple, guys. This is going to be a short video because really, there's not much to say about this tank, man, other than the fact that this tank kicks ass. It is really good. Okay, I mean, mucho bueno, really good. Yes, its armor is butter, but boy, does it ever pack a punch when you hit. Yes, its gun isn't the most accurate thing where it will like exit stage left. You will like shoot, and all of a sudden one will just go pew, pew. You know, you got no control of that. It's basically RNG every time you shoot, man. But that being said, let's talk about the pros to this tank, okay? This tank has the third best alpha damage for all tier 8 tank destroyers. Third. And it's got great penetration. Its accuracy, like I said, is really, really, really good. Its aim time is really good. The problem with it though is it's a Russian gun. So like I said, you know, you'll be shooting like straight, and all of a sudden one just will miss the side of a barn, man. I mean, it is really, 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 really crazy when it comes to the accuracy and how inconsistent, I should say. Inconsistent. It's very inconsistent. The other thing that's a pro for it is its mobility. It's actually pretty quick, this little tank. It's way faster than the Scorpion, which is the other tank that, you know, it gets measured up against a lot. It's got really, really good top speed. It can move around really well. It's easy to relocate. Mobility definitely a plus for this tank. The other thing is it's got pretty good gun depression. And it's got a pretty good gun arc. I mean, it's not fully traversable, right? It's just, you know, like the gun goes from like that. So obviously what you want to do is make sure you're turning the actual hull of the tank as you're turning. Now, if you're you know, basically sitting in a bush sniping and you don't want to get spotted, well, you know, every time you shoot, the bushes go boom. So the fact that you move, it doesn't really matter. But maybe what you're going to have to do then is just pull back a little bit before you start turning your hull. Speaking of sniping, this thing's got really good camouflage stats on it. Meaning, as I was speaking, you know, a lot of people say the battles between the Scorpion and the Su-130. Not even close when it comes to concealment. The Scorpion is so tall and so big compared to the SU, which is nice and low. And the Su-130 kills it all day long with the concealment. I can stay hidden in this thing much easier than when I'm playing my Scorpions. Now for the negative. Like the first thing I mentioned was the fact that, you know, it doesn't have a fully traversable turret. You know, it's just... It's good though, you know. But anyways, I have to say that is a con because some players, you know, do not like playing tank destroyers if they're just, you know, if they can't turn the turret around. They like to sit in a bush and be able to just turn the turret. It's also got very low hit points for the tier, and its armor is pretty low. I mean, this is a paper TD in this best, you know, example of a paper TD. It really is lightly armored, quite jokingly actually. But here's the thing: I can take hits in this. I'll actually block other tanks when they're low on HP. I'll put my tank in the line of fire just because I know that I'll be able to take more than a hit. Like, okay, don't get me wrong. This is tier 8. If I'm in tier 10, you know, and I'm playing against a mouse or something, and it's going to shoot me, well, there's a good chance, especially if he's using, HE or something, he might be able to just one shot me or a ship barn, that kind of thing. But that being said, man, when you're playing same tier, especially lower tier, like you're able to take some hits with this thing. So I'm not saying like treat it like it's a T95 by any stretch of the imagination. Um, but when people say that it's armor is butter, I've played it enough to be able to tell you, you're gonna be able to take some hits. Just play smartly. Just always be trying to be not seen, hiding, way in the back, using your camo, and when you have to take a hit, when you get exposed or a wheelie comes flying in, luckily you'll be able to take a hit. But then it's you got to relocate and quickly and try to get into cover so that you won't get hit. Speaking of getting hit, the other thing is that this tank is pretty vulnerable when it comes to ramming. Because, like I said, the armor is butter, baby. A lot of tanks will just, once they see this, they're like, make a beeline for it, just full speed, man. I'll tell you one thing that's really fun though is when they're making a beeline and you look at the track and you shoot their track and they go spin around, do a 360 because you track them, man. But that's hard to do. I gotta admit, that's very hard to do. You can't do that consistently. You're gonna get killed in this thing from ramming. Because you're in the back, by the time they have the ability to ram you, there's two things that have happened. Either you got a wheelie that just broke through the lines and hasn't been taken out, and he's managed to get in on you early in the game, that kind of thing. Or your team's losing and they're starting to swarm the base, kind of thing. Because this is a tank that you play at the back, no doubt about that. Yes, you can push when your team's winning by a good margin, but in general, what tends to happen when it comes to ramming is it's because you're in the back, your team's losing, and eventually, you take out as much as you can, and finally you get killed. And when they kill you, they just ram you. I mean, heck, a wheelie can ram you in this and do some significant damage, man. The gun on it is okay. Like, what I mean by that is the gun handling is okay. If you're stationary, you're looking great, man. When it's fully aimed and stationary, it's pretty reliable and it's going to do a lot of damage. But when you're driving, all bets are off. Like I said, this is a sniping TD, and it's perfect meaning of that. And a sniping TD doesn't mean that you're sniping while you're running. You don't see snipers, like, just imagine, forget tanks, just a normal sniper. You don't see snipers running across the field going, Phew. You know what I mean? No. They're checking the wind, they're dialing it in, and boom, and from a distance, you don't see them, and all of a sudden, boom, you're gone. So yeah, you have to be sitting still to take advantage of this beautiful gun right here. And then finally, the gun elevation, especially from the side of it. When you're looking straight on, it's okay, but from the side of it, yeah, you're not going to have the best elevation on this thing. So remember to use the terrain to your advantage. If you watch me during my streams on Twitch, you'll see when I'm playing this tank that there's a lot of times I'll use the terrain to my advantage to help me get the shot, whether I need to shoot up or shoot down. And if you're aware of that, this is why I make these videos, guys. This is why I explain the pros and the cons of these tanks. It's because if you are aware of it, if you watch this video and you hear me say you have to use the terrain, and then next time you're playing your SU-130 and you're out there and all of a sudden you realize you can't get a shot, and you're like, oh, fuck. I remember Mr. Beelbaum said that, and all of a sudden just try to, like, if you're trying to shoot down, go up on a bit of a ridge, or come up into it if you're trying to shoot up, that kind of thing. Because there's a lot of topography in this game. There's a lot of little curves and dips in the ground that you can use to your advantage. So if you're hearing this and you might try doing that next time, you might find that you're able to get into a lot more shots than normally you would. Maybe if you didn't know that, you'd be getting frustrated. And, oh, man, this tank can't shoot up and down as well. It can. But, especially with the elevation, try to use the terrain to help you a little bit. If you're going to shoot up, try to look for a little bit of a dip. If you don't have one, you don't have one, but just try to find something really close to you to help. That's really about it for when it comes to the pros and cons. It's got a good amount of ammo loadout. Like I said, the armor on this, there's no need to even show it. It's just butter, man. Always be angling. Always. Once you're spotted, you always have to be angling to try to reduce the amount of damage. You're going to take damage, but trust me, guys, when I say this, angling works. It's part of the mechanics, and you can actually reduce. Like if you're showing your broadside to a tank and you get hit, there's a good chance, depending on the tank, you might get one shotted. Whereas if you angle it so that they're hitting and it's bouncing a bit, yes, you're going to take damage in this thing, but it's significantly going to be reduced, so that you will be able to take a few of those shots rather than just one shot. And that's about it, guys. I really don't know what else to say other than this tank is so fun, especially when you get your crew trained up in this. Once you have your radio operator getting your situational awareness, and you got your commander with a recon, you got your concealment all the way up. Man, this thing is crazy good. Crazy, crazy good. As for equipment, the usual equipment on this is going to be a gun rammer, binocs, and a camo net. You can switch that around if you want. You can throw a turbo on there. I wouldn't really recommend too much else. You can't put vents on it because it's open hatch, right? Or else, obviously, vents would be going in the first slot. But yeah, that's what I would recommend, hands down, for this one. Some people like to put the sniper a piece of equipment on it that basically makes it so that your what is it, dispersion is reduced, which means you have better accuracy. Honestly, I don't think the accuracy is the issue. It's the consistency. And they don't have a piece of equipment yet for consistency. That's just RNG of the game, man. And what I mean is, like I said before several times already, you'll be shooting, and all of a sudden it just, like, it doesn't even go near the tank. You can see your shells. And all of a sudden it's like, where the hell did that one go? That's this tank, man. So there's nothing's going to change that. So I wouldn't use that. I would stick with, like I said, my personal choice of equipment on this one, hands down, is your camo net, your binocs, and your rammer. Rammer in the first slot, sorry. So rammer and then binocs and camo net, however you want to do it. But definitely put the rammer in the first slot if you can. So there you go. That's what I recommend. Get the crews trained up. Sure, if you want to use food, go for it. If you want to use for the directive, whatever you want, more camo, you name it, whatever. Maybe bonus to your ramming speed, gun rammer speed. So the reload time goes down. Reload's actually really good on this, but I'm just saying it's nice to be able to use that, so you're even faster. That's it, guys. Have a great day. I hope you're enjoying World of Tanks. Awesome game. It looks beautiful. Yeah, there's some issues with this game. We all know that. But you know what? It's still a game that you can jump into for free. I say for free when I'm talking about a premium tank. But anyways, you can jump into it and quickly get into a match. It's frustrating sometimes. Remember, guys, play with somebody that you know and you have fun playing with. Jump in a platoon with a friend, maybe. It makes the game a lot easier because then you can just talk to your friend and ignore all the chat. You know what I mean? Just ignore the toxicity that's out there. You're never going to get away from that in these video games when you're playing a game that's, massive multi-online, a bunch of other people playing with you. Yeah, it's going to happen. So just ignore the crap. Have fun. And till the next time, guys, I'm Mr. Beetle Bum. I hope you enjoy the videos. If you do, please give them a like. It really helps. Then also, if you don't like them, give it a thumbs down. And please come over and check us out on Twitch. Monday, Wednesdays, and Friday nights. We always stream at 6 p.m. Eastern Time. You can ask me questions there live and check out the gameplay. And plus, we have fun teasing Randy. All right, guys. Till the next time, I'm Mr. Beetle Bum, and I am out.